Robots Radio presents
Fresh Tomatoes, the movie podcast.
I'm not usually a hat fan, but wow.
Jeg vil ikke være en dagger.
I'm really sipping on that dumb bitch juice today, and
Yeah, I am. But you know what? Someday I just might grow out of that. But you will never stop being a jerk.
All chocolate cakes are good. You're a fascist.
it's hideous.
It's horrible.
It's home. Angry white boy, let's go!
Hello, and welcome to Fresh Tomatoes, the movie podcast, where business is personal. That's Simone LaRue.
And that's Chad Ekowitz with a vaguely threatening intro.
You know, I was actually saying this to a colleague today. So basically how it works, without getting into like the minutiae of the law, because I'm sure that's why people come to this podcast.
That's why I do.
Exactly. So when you're not allowed to represent both sides, like as a firm, you're not allowed to that makes complete sense, right?
No conflict of interest.
Exactly. Now, there are like certain carve-outs to that. So like there are certain rules you can put in place so that you can act for both sides, as long as like the same people aren't working for both sides. So different solicitors from the same firm can do so, etc., etc. So like I'm doing one of these matters with someone, and I sat there today and I just thought, this is not as dramatic as they make it out on TV. And I'm very disappointed in this. Not once have me and this person looked at each other with hateful scorn in our eyes. Not once have I cornered either one of us cornered each other, you know, heading off to get a drink and being like, I'm going to win this case and there's nothing you can do about it.
And then like there's
no
some weird
bets.
sexual tension.
Precisely. There's none of that. There's absolutely nothing. And it's just, like the stakes have never been lower. And I'm really upset about this.
Wow, all those years of law school wasted, really.
I mean, what did Suits teach me? I'm curious.
Educational programming, Suits?
It's one and the same. I mean, that's why it was such a hit, because it was so educational for law students.
I thought so.
Yeah. I was actually watching an episode the other day with my parents, and I was like, oh God, these people should all just be arrested. This is so wrong.
I mean, it starts off with them doing something highly illegal, and it does not get better.
It does not. And speaking of something being highly illegal and then not getting better, what movies are we doing this week?
I love it.
The Return of the Transition.
That was great. I loved that. We are doing the Boss Baby movies. Last episode, we mistakenly said we were doing the Boss Baby trilogy because we were uninformed. There are only 2 movies.
I love how you say we when this was purely on me. Like, look at you trying to take the fall for my indiscretions. I really do appreciate that.
I'm a model co-host half the time when I'm not pushing episode recordings back by 2 days.
Yeah, basically, we're recording this, guys, and then we'll immediately be recording the next episode. So just get ready for that.
I don't think we could.
No, God, could you imagine the energy? But I also wanted to just bring this about because I didn't realize this. The second mistake in terms of this episode that I made has nothing to do with Simone, and she's like basically flawless, untouchable for this episode. But I decided we should do a Boss Baby episode before I realized the horrible things that Alec Baldwin has done in the past couple of weeks. So I do just want to apologize if this is sort of seeming offensive to anyone or sort of very crass. It was completely unintentional and very ignorant of me. And in no way are we supporting Alec Baldwin or his career.
Not a
or
Baldwin
anything
plug.
of that nature.
He's not a nice man.
Not. No, he's the worst. And so I do apologize. We're doing these movies because they're awful, not because of Alec Baldwin. We promise.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Well said.
Thank you. So good. Let's see who goes first, even though we already know who goes first. What are you drinking today?
I'm having a nice red wine.
Ooh, very
yes,
nice.
Someone left it at my house after the Halloween dinner that I hosted. So,
oh, lovely.
Yeah, nothing fancy.
Isn't that the good thing about hosting, dinners and stuff, is whatever's left behind is yours?
I mean, I told him to take it because like we hadn't even opened it, and he was like, "Nah, I had other wine while I was here, so I'll leave this bottle." So,
that's nice. It's like give a penny, take a penny, but with wine.
Exactly.
What a dream! What a dream life you're living. So talk to me more about this Halloween lunch. I don't care about this movie now. Like, let's talk Halloween
It was a
first.
dinner, which is why I didn't want to
Dinner.
record on Sunday. Nothing fancy. I
Ah,
didn't tell people to like dress up or anything. I just made some like themed food and played spooky music.
nice.
I made like black and orange spaghetti, so it was like squid ink spaghetti with a
Ooh,
vegetarian bolognese that I added cream to, so it was orange.
that's
And then I
cool.
made black garlic bread because the grocery store down the road for me is very bougie, and sells like activated charcoal ciabatta.
Wow,
So I made
that's
that into
that is
garlic
incredible.
bread.
That sounds amazing. Was it good? Like, did
Yeah,
it affect the taste at all?
not really. It had a slightly more like earthy taste to
Okay,
it, but I mean, garlic bread is garlic bread. Like, put enough garlic and butter on anything, and it's delicious.
it's a win. It's a
Yeah.
win.
What
That's your
did you get
cooking
up
tip for
to
the week.
Halloween night?
Uh, Halloween night. So what did I do? I went over to my parents for dinner. That's what I did. So that was lovely. My
Cool.
parents forgot to take their sweets out of the attic, so their house was just shrouded in darkness, so none of the kids would come by, which is really on brand for my parents if you think about it. So we just we just had a really nice dinner. We just had a very chilled, relaxing dinner.
Why do they keep their sweets in the attic?
Because otherwise my dad eats them. He's like Winnie the Pooh, and if he
Yeah.
discovers like
No, I get
there's
that.
yeah, it's a sort of risk to benefit to effort ratio
Mm,
with my dad. So going up into the attic is a bit of too much effort to get sweets where he could just like
that's
go to
cool.
the shops, I
That's
guess.
smart. Yeah, I don't keep sweets or chips in the house. Chips are really my downfall, as we all know.
Mhm.
So we don't keep chips in the house.
That's fair. I think that's a good idea because it's always the fun game. Am I hungry or am I bored?
Am I hungry or do I
And
just really want chips?
yeah, yeah. Oh, speaking of chips, my parents went to the South African store the other day and bought flings,
Oh,
and they saved me half a bag, which is pretty incredible.
shit. Did you devour them?
Today, I
Mm,
finished them off today.
mm.
I had like a midday stop and I had to destroy them.
Oh,
Listeners, I'm so sorry for our non-South African listeners, but you are all going to die with one of the biggest regrets in your life, and that's to never have flings. They are an enigma wrapped in a mystery, and they are the most beautiful food of all time.
go to your local South African section in your store if you have one. Get
Mhm,
yourself some
mhm.
flings or knickknacks.
It will
Knickknacks
change your
are
life.
not the same, but super fucking delicious.
Yeah, they really are. You come for the cheese powder, you stay for the MSG.
Ugh,
It's incredible.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Shall
yeah.
we well, wait, sorry, what are you drinking? I've been so rude.
It's okay. It's all right. Don't worry. I find you covered for me earlier saying this, the mistakes were also yours. So,
No.
it's balanced.
No.
I'm back on my banana bullshit, just with a nice banana beer again.
Cute.
I didn't have a chance to go and shop for more liquors, so I'm just sticking to the old reliable, and it's very, very tasty.
If it ain't broke.
Exactly. So, I mean, we had already decided you were going to do the first one, so go for it whenever you're ready, my friend.
Okay. Let's do this. Boss Baby. Tim, who as narrator and an adult is voiced by Tobey Maguire, and who as a child is voiced by Miles Bakshi. Tim is your average kid who lives his best life with his parents. His mom, played by Lisa Kudrow, and his dad, voiced by Jimmy Kimmel. The three of them are an ultimate team. Tim has a very active imagination and plays lots of games of pretend, and he gets all of his parents' love and attention until his baby brother arrives. The baby, voiced by Alec Baldwin, looks like a normal baby at first, except he wears a suit. But he soaks up all of Tim's parents' affection and time and attention, and Tim hates him. He hates him. And then one night he overhears the baby talking on a phone. The baby can talk with Alec Baldwin's voice. And he walks in on the conspiracy. So the baby comes from Baby Corps, which is where babies come from. Their job is to just obviously get babies out there to the world, but then also just like make sure things go smoothly for babies in the world. At the moment, they are encountering a crisis because puppies are currently outpacing babies in the amount of love that they're getting. And this is a problem because obviously if puppies get all the love, where's the love for babies? Nowhere. Then no one wants babies. Can confirm.
Yeah.
So they basically have to try and infiltrate this puppy convention. Their parents both work for Puppy Co., which is owned by Francis, played by Steve Buscemi. And at some point, Tim also goes on a tour of Baby Corps where the boss baby's like, oh, you know, I'm upper management and my dream is to be like the big boss baby, which is like, I guess the biggest boss baby. Come on.
Yeah, it's the boss baby.
The boss baby. So they go, hijinks ensue. The brothers kind of bond while all of that's happening. They discover that the new puppy is a puppy that stays a puppy forever, which is very scary. And also that Francis used to be the big boss baby.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
What a
And he needs to
revelation.
steal the baby formula that the babies use to stay like intelligent and able to talk. He uses that to make his puppies. But basically, long story short, they thwart his evil scheme through shenanigans. And the boss baby is going to go back to Baby Corps and it'll be like he was never there. But then Tim realizes that he actually really misses him, and the boss baby realizes he really misses Tim. So he writes a letter, boss baby gets the letter, and he comes back home, and the two of them grow up together as loving brothers. The end.
How adorable. So what is your cliffhanger for this one?
Oh, I mean, it has to be this one. And it's when Tim first realizes his brother can talk. And he's like, oh, what if we share the love? And the boss baby is like, you've clearly never been to business school.
That was such a great line. I really appreciated that line. I mean, I think that was what was nice about this film is they really did pay a lot of attention to the dialogue, and it had some really, really solid moments in it. Yeah,
both of these movies had moments where like I was surprised at myself laughing out loud because I was just like, oh shit, that's really funny.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these movies should be like inherently they should be dumb. I mean, it's about a baby who's a boss. Like the premise alone is just enough to make you roll your eyes. But honestly, just adorable the whole way through, like low-key like this.
I love the character design of the boss baby, like especially when he's just like in a shirt and little socks like with the suspenders. I don't know why the detail of the socks with suspenders, I was just like, that is the fucking cutest, funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was, for me, it's the moments where he goes in and out of being an actual baby, like towards the end of the film where he's like starting to lose his boss baby status and he's becoming like just a standard baby. Just wanted to give that plot point away to anyone who hasn't seen the movie yet. He starts to turn into a normal baby. And those transitions where he's like freaking out and he's going between being a normal baby and a boss baby is just so funny because he's so cute. He's so cute as a baby. And then just like the funniest character is an actual boss baby. And it's just, it's just fun. It's just really fun.
It's all very silly. I will say, I think that the animation style was very cool, like especially for all of Tim's like imagination scenes where he's like picturing what's happening and stuff. I think like some very, very cool animation happens there. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what? I did not see the twist coming that Francis used to be the big boss baby. I was impressed with that.
It was very good. Like I was that was very, very cool. I did love the Chekhov's bottle in the first one. That was great how they used that. I did not see that coming either. You know, they was such a buried thing, and I was, you know, you and I are usually pretty good at spotting Chekhov's various appliances. So it was quite a nice surprise to be like, oh my god, boss baby hoodwinked me. How is this physically possible?
Oh my god.
I really enjoyed the fact that they had like big names in this movie. I mean, Steve Buscemi, Tobey Maguire, Lisa Kudrow, Alec Baldwin. I mean, wow.
Yeah,
Incredible,
I'm
right?
also quite surprised. I guess, I don't know. I think voice acting is like a fun thing to do, and then the actors like get a nice fat paycheck for doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
I
That
don't
is
know.
very true.
I mean, I guess
Mm.
that's the same for every movie that they do, but like this, they don't even have to put on makeup.
No. Can just sit in a nice comfy chair,
Yeah.
just read lines with a nice hot cup of tea. That's probably
Yeah.
got to be the best bit, right? Because
Oh,
you got to keep your voice warm. So you
yeah,
can't have like cold drinks or milkshakes.
true. So that's I love that like in this universe that you're picturing, they don't normally have tea. They can only treat themselves to tea if they're voice acting.
Oh, absolutely. It's in their
Right.
contract.
Oh my God.
Did you see a single cup of tea on the set of Jumanji? Are you mad? That's
Oh my God, I
crazy
had no
talk.
idea.
You couldn't. Dwayne the Rock Johnson is a big fan of his Earl Grey. You know, he likes to have it in like really tiny cups to make him look even bigger. And just every time the director would come by and just like swat it out of his hand, which is also
Ugh,
terrifying if you think
brutal.
about it. Swatting anything out of his hand would be pretty detrimental to your health.
I mean, but The Rock signed a contract, so he knows.
Exactly. And The Rock is nothing if not contractually
Consummate
bound.
professional.
I mean, what else is there? Like, what didn't you like about this movie? It's really hard to pin down things.
I mean, look, like it's a kids movie, right? Like it's inherently very silly, and some of the jokes are kind of dumb, and there are some gags that for me didn't really pay off. The whole thing with like his weird baby gang, that didn't really go anywhere. Yeah, like little nitpicks where I'm just like, I probably, to be honest, I wouldn't watch it again, but it's just because I don't really love kids movies like this. There's not a single song, so
Okay.
what's the point, really?
That's the bar for you, is that it's got to have music in it?
Yeah, if I'm gonna watch a kids movie, there's got to be a catchy soundtrack.
Okay, fair enough. I understand that.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, yeah, I understand that. I mean, yeah, the villains in this one weren't great. Like, you know, it was fine that they wanted a puppy to be a thing, but like, my question is, and I think this was what really annoyed me about both of these movies, right? So the whole like premise is that, is this in Timmy's mind or is this reality? And it happens like they really explore that more in the second one, and we'll probably get into it when we do the second one. But like, okay, so this might be in Timmy's mind, and it might also be real. So what are the stakes here? Like, are puppies, like, is there going to be a forever puppy, and you know this is a thing, or is Boss Baby just a figment of his imagination and him like trying to process getting a baby brother?
I like the ambiguity of it. I thought that was kind of cool, like a little nod to the parents, like, or was it all a dream? And obviously kids think it's all real. Obviously that's done away with in the second movie, where it's made clear that it's very real and it's not just like Tim's own delusion. But I thought that was a cool touch for the first movie, that you're like, oh, it could just potentially be a story about coming to terms with having to share your parents.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you as an older sister, how did you feel when Max came along? Tell me your transition.
I think it's a little different for girls, because girls are like expected and taught to be quite nurturing. So I was very excited, because I was excited to have like a baby to help look after. And I really love looking after my sister. I still look after her sometimes. So it wasn't like a, I don't know, I don't think it was a drama for me. I think if anything, my parents were like, leave the baby alone. Like, how did you feel about it as someone who's never had to share?
I mean, I really resonated with Tim in the first sort of 20 minutes when, you know, his parents were like, oh, how do you feel about having a brother? And he's just like, no, thank you. And I was like,
I'm enough.
Yeah. I feel you, brother. I feel you. Don't you worry. You're not alone in this.
That was a very well done moment too, where they're like, how would you feel if you had a brother? And he's like, nope, I'm enough.
Nope. Yeah. It's fair. Look, we are, as single children, are amazing. Look, I'm sorry that you guys are lesser and you have to share love.
Right.
We just demand more. We know what we're worth, and we just demand it.
Okay. Interesting. You know? I mean, that's between like you and a therapist. Like, I can't be involved.
That's our new podcast, is Therapy Hour, where you just try and unpack all of this.
I don't think that's healthy.
No, that would not be a good idea for our friendship.
Mm-mm.
So, I mean, not much to say, so let's move on. Golden Nugget.
I think for me, definitely the standout was like the animation. I thought it was really, really well done. I really loved all the imagination sequences. I thought it was really beautiful. What about you?
Yeah. I think it's all the business stuff. Like you mentioned, that joke about not going to business school, fucking hilarious.
Oh, there were some really good business jokes.
His sort of affinity towards memos is just was one of my favorite speeches of all time. And I loved that. And yeah, it was just those little jokes that I was just like, corporate America has just spoiled us rotten here, and I'm just so happy.
I love business jargon. I mean, I use it 8 hours a day. I love it.
What's your favorite business jargony word or phrase?
Oh, my favorite is when someone asks me to do something and I don't want to do it, or like I don't really have capacity for that right now. Maybe you could just I'll just add it to my backlog.
Oh, that's great. I like that. Oh yeah.
What about you?
That's hot. I love the word deliverables.
Ooh,
as if we're all
yes.
yeah. Oh, how are you on your deliverables? Well, they call me FedEx because I always have deliverables.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great. Business talk is fantastic. Let's put a pin in that. Incredible.
And guys, if you're ever in a meeting and people are like, what do you think? And you don't have an opinion, here's what you do. You go, why don't we get back to like the issue at hand here? I feel like we've all gotten a little into the weeds. And then you restate the problem everyone's talking about, but like a little slower.
That's perfect. I love that. Oh, what a fantastic business tip. Oh, beautiful.
If anyone from my work is listening to this, they know that I don't do that.
They're just going to call you out in the next meeting, just be like, aha, I knew it.
Sloan, you are not as sassy as you claim to be at work.
I don't know. I think you're going to be a corporate bigwig. I could imagine you being at work being like, damn it, I want results.
Where are those reports?
I told you, Jenkins, I wanted them on my desk by 2:00. It is 2:06.
This is embarrassing.
I can imagine you as being like a Moira Rose kind of businesswoman, though. Just being like...
At this point, I'm really more of an Alexis. Like, truly, when I talk, like when I do like marketing things, and I'm like chatting to people about stuff I can do, I'm like, okay, so here's what I can do for you, and it's rough. It's pretty rough. Like, I hear myself as I'm doing it, and I'm like, what is happening to me?
La 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 la. A little bit of Alexis.
Stop, it's gonna be stuck in my head the whole day now.
Everyone knows that, you're expensive sushi, you're a huge big yacht. Everyone knows this.
I'm a little bit single, even when I'm not.
I got a great compliment today. It's a purely it's one of my favorite corporate comments that I ever had. So basically, someone asked me to do something, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to do it today. I can get it done by like Thursday. And I got a best email back being, well done on your time management and managing expectations. That's really good. Especially, it's very clear that you're very busy right now. And like, I thought that was a little sort of sarcastic, maybe a little sort of, biting. But then I remembered that I did send him an email at 7:00 this morning when we start at 9. So he knows how busy I am. So yeah. So I was like, that's an odd compliment, but I'm definitely going to take it.
Okay. What's it like being better than everyone, Chad?
Look, it's just part of being a single child, Simone. What can I say?
Okay, he's bringing it back. Very nice. Very well done. I walked you into that.
You really did. You set it up, and I just knock it out of the park. So, I mean, you've already mentioned you wouldn't watch this again. So I gotta disagree with you. I think I'm gonna add this to the repertoire, man. This is just a fun, it's just a really fun romp, and it's just hilarious from start to finish. And I think, with the downfall of capitalism coming in the next 2 years,
this is gonna be extra
look
funny.
Back at this. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna look back at this and be like, look how stupid, corporations were before the fall.
And Alec Baldwin.
And especially Alec Baldwin. May he fall soon. Um, well, there we go. Shall we plow straight back into number 2?
Please explain this plot to everybody.
Right. So it is many, many years later, and Tim has suddenly undergone a voice change, and he is now voiced by James Marsden. He is an
that
adult
true?
now. Yeah. Did
They
you not
couldn't
notice
get Toby
it?
back?
No, they couldn't, and it really,
Wow.
really annoyed me when I watched the second one.
Toby,
'Cause I
what
was
the
like,
fuck?
who is this? What's going on? Like, fuck, Toby. You clearly don't. He's still living off the Spider-Man money.
Must be.
Lucky bastard. Yeah. So it's now James Marsden, who's voicing Tim, and he has his own family. He's got Carol, voiced by Eva Longoria, and then Tabitha, voiced by Ariana Greenblatt, as his lovely, lovely daughter. Everything seems perfect. Everyone's really happy in the family, but unfortunately, Tim and Ted again, voiced by Alec Baldwin, seem to have drifted apart in their old age. Ted is always working, and Tim has just kind of given up on trying to reach out to his brother, so they've kind of gone apart. Issue is that Tabitha is completely in love with Ted, like absolutely idolizes his sort of business ethic and things like that, and it's causing a rift between Tabitha and Tim. Tim is this very fun-loving stay-at-home dad who's always still got this active imagination, while Tabitha is this absolute bloody genius who is just way more advanced than any of the kids in her set, and it seems to be just growing apart from her dad. To the point where Tim goes to say goodnight to Tabitha, and she just sticks out her hand for a jovial handshake rather than a traditional kiss, which, I mean, personally broke my heart. Don't know how you felt about that.
Yeah, I'm not a parent. I don't particularly want to be a parent, but like, oh, I felt that just knife to the heart.
That was harsh. That was very harsh. So eventually, Tim and Carol have a new baby named Tina, voiced by Amy Sedaris. She seems all cute. Her and Tabitha get on really well when suddenly Tim comes across Tina one night, and she is talking on the phone. Turns out she is also a boss baby. It's completely flipped Tim's mind out. He's so freaked out that his own daughter is yet another boss baby, and she's down from what's it called, baby core, in order to resolve yet another shenanigan-fueled disaster. This time they are looking at Tabitha's school, which is Tiny Acorns or something like that. Basically, the owner, Dr. Armstrong, voiced by the enigmatic Jeff Goldblum, is setting up these schools all across the world, and it's for like incredibly gifted children, super smart children who he wants to sort of, you know, grow and mold into these absolute geniuses. And Tabitha is part of this school. Tina is investigating the school because it seems a bit iffy, and, you know, Baby Core is a little bit worried about what's going on at the schools. And now she's asked Tim to get involved to try and sort of infiltrate the school and get things right. Also, on this basis, she sees that Tim and Ted have sort of distanced themselves from each other, so it is her plan to get them back together. Ted comes round thinking that there's an emergency with Tabitha, and Tina turns them both into babies again. So now both Tim and Ted are back to being a baby with the help of Tina. Lots of teas. So lots of shenanigans ensue. They investigate this school. Tim finds out that Tabitha is really nervous because she's got a recital at the end of the month, and she's really worried because she can't sing for shit. And Tim is like a musical genius, and she's just really worried that her dad is not going to be proud of her. Obviously, Tim is a kid, you know, hears all of this directly from Tabitha, and it breaks his heart, breaks my heart too. And it's just super sad, but Tim basically helps Tabitha to learn to sing again, which is really nice. While investigating the school, Ted works out that Dr. Armstrong is actually a baby the whole time.
What?
So it's crazy. Dr. Armstrong was a kid of 2 psychologists. Apparently psychologists in every kid's movie are evil. So Dr. Armstrong's kids' parents basically did experiments on him, made him super smart, and he realized that he didn't actually need them anymore. So his whole big plan is to make all kids free of their parents. He's going to develop a way to just get rid of parents in entirety and just let kids sort of run their own lives, with sort of him being at the head of the kid empire. So more shenanigans ensue. It comes to the big night of the recital, and this is also when Dr. Armstrong is going to like reveal his big plan. Ted and Tim obviously are fighting on and off, not realizing that, the only way they can do this together is to be brothers. They then realize this at the final moments because Dr. Armstrong reveals his plan. He has basically created a whole bunch of apps, and this one specific app is going to hypnotize all the parents into becoming mindless zombies, in which case then kids will be free to do whatever they want. As you can imagine, obviously, Tim, Ted, and Tina save the day. They get rid of Dr. Armstrong. Tabitha, is able to sing, and Tim sees it, and Tabitha realizes that Tim, the small version of Tim, is actually her dad. And everyone essentially lives happily ever after, including Dr. Armstrong, who goes back to his parents and realizes that they loved him all along.
Oh,
The end.
The end.
The end.
Cute. What's your cliffhanger here?
I think it has to be this one, which is the scene between Dr. Armstrong and Ted while he's in the room and he's like getting the sticky stuff on his body. Because it's just really fun. I mean, I love Jeff Goldblum. I think he's fantastic.
What a role for him
for this movie. Oh, what a great role for him. As a baby, fucking hilarious.
I wonder, I wonder how they pitched it to him. I wonder if they even had to, or if they were like, do you want to voice a baby? And he was like, yes. And they were like, no, but it's an evil baby. And he was like, I mean, double yes.
You had me. Yeah. Don't you've already hit gold.
Yeah.
Stop digging. Yeah. I think this one, like you said in the beginning, sort of they really sort of bat it away that sort of whether it's in his mind or whether it's real. Like it is real, these things are actually happening. Baby core is real and everything. I think that does take away a bit of the fun of this, especially if you're an adult, because that's you can kind of look at this and be like, oh, this is all in his imagination and that makes it fun, or is it real? This is just like nah, fuck you, this is real. Makes it less fun, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel.
No, I totally agree. That's also how I felt. I thought this one, it had some really nice emotional beats, but it was just really heavy on the shenanigans, like just a lot of scenes of like pure chaos and stuff and like silliness. Like, were the ninja babies necessary? I don't really think so. So yeah, I don't know. There's just some extra filler stuff that like I didn't find super helpful or interesting, but I'm not a kid, so I'm sure those sequences are really fun to watch, actually, especially with like much younger kids who just are in it for the colors and the sounds and the music and everything.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think maybe potentially the first one was more for the parents, and then sort of the TV show came out, and that was probably more like they saw obviously how it worked with kids being sort of flashy colors and lots of shenanigans, and then they just plowed that into the second movie, and so it lost a lot of its heart. I thought so. The pacing and everything in the plot in the first one was really, really well done, and they kept it nice and sort of clippy and short, and it was great. This one, there was just a lot happening. Too much, I would say. Exactly. Like, they could have kept it much more simple, and it still would have been a really solid movie. Would have really appreciated it.
I mean, so what I liked that they made Tim a house husband. I think like it really speaks to like this new generation of kids movies where they're like normalizing stuff like that. And it's never weird, like it's never called into question like, oh, you're less of a man because your wife's the breadwinner. Like that's not even an issue, which I really like. He's just like, I love being a dad, I love hanging out with my kids, I get to do all the coolest stuff, like this is great. I really liked that. I liked his relationship with Tabitha. I thought it was really sweet, and like again it's really this great new generation. Like his masculinity is never called into question. He's never like grumpy or insecure about who he is as a man. Like he's upset that he's not successful in the way that Ted is successful, but he's not like, oh, I'm a man and men are supposed to do this,
Yeah, absolutely.
And, like even when his own my favorite, actually, it's such a low-key moment. He's a kid, he's trying to find a seat in class, and the kids are being really mean to him about finding a seat, and without like even thinking about it, his daughter's like, oh yeah, here you go, you can just take my seat, and he's like, I'm so proud of you. And she's like, what?
It's so good the whole way through with their relationship.
Can I tell you the moment that actually made me fucking belly laugh was the Christmas pageant where they're
Yeah.
they're going through like the different
Yes.
versions of like Christmas, or like, and they're like, you know, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Diwali, nothing.
Yes, yeah, and it's just
like
a guy
black turtleneck.
yeah. It was so good. And then like the whole thing just takes a really dark turn where they're just like, everything is burning and the world is on fire. And it's just like, holy shit, this took a real serious beat all of a sudden. Fantastic Christmas pageant. They need to do that more.
And then the music stopping and everything just fucking destroyed me.
Excellent bit. So funny. I also really appreciated that they didn't do like a C plot where little Tim and Tabitha sort of like have feelings, like, because that would have been like from Tabitha's point
like
of view,
17 again.
like 17 again,
Yeah.
like Back to the Future, all of those kind of things. Like, I'm really glad they left that out of it, because it looked like it was going that way very briefly, and then they switched it around, and I was well chuffed that they didn't do that, because it is
would have been
mondo creepy. Yeah, exactly. I thought that, I mean, that's a question for you. A lot more music in this one. How do you feel about that in comparison?
It was fun. I liked the music. Clearly, the musical number made me laugh out loud. But that's not the same as having a fun soundtrack, is it? Like, well, here's the thing. I want to bop to the tunes in my car.
Okay, yeah, this one did not have that. It was like it's a very emotional soundtrack.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Okay, fine. Other than that, I think, you know, the boss baby, Tina was fun. I thought she was, you know, really hilarious in terms of this kind of thing. Yeah,
I really liked the dialogue actually between her and Alec Baldwin as the boss baby. Like, it was like this comparison, I guess, of like boomer businessmen versus like millennials, where she's like, oh, I actually really value a good work-life balance, or like, I'm not totally committed to the corporation, like I have side hustles, and like it's really cool.
Yeah, it was really lovely. Yeah, absolutely. It was cool to see the different generations and how, like, you know, Boss Baby was just not okay with what was going on and things. Like, yeah. It was really fun to see that. Yeah.
I thought it was a clever, nice little throwback for the parents.
Definitely. Other than that, it was fine. Like, like you said, I mean,
had some
shenanigans
moments,
out
but
the
like
wazoo.
a lot of like bullshit filler.
Yeah, like the whole thing with the pony, not necessary. Like you said, the whole thing. I mean, I did like the one filler with the creepy baby. The creepy baby that was like Pennywise the Clown.
That was so useless. I was like, why are you giving me nightmares for no reason?
Is that because you know that would be your kid if you had a kid?
I'd have the creepiest child.
You would have the creepiest child, my friend. If she would be so pale.
Chad, I can say this because I don't want kids. I want like an eerie looking child, like with big eyes, where like it could turn out pretty later. I don't want a terrifying, hideous Chucky doll of a child.
So you're more thinking like Corpse Bride, Nightmare Before Christmas, that kind of pretty, you know, creepy but pretty,
rather exactly. Than, you know, I definitely have more of like a gothic mystique that I want from my child, and not a slasher mystique.
You're just gonna buy all the parasails for your child one day. Just lace gloves and parasails. That's the vibe we're going for.
I mean, look, if they inherit these enormous eyes, like, you gotta lean into
what are you gonna do about it?
You gotta turn them into a Burton character. I'm sorry.
It's just the way things are. That's the rules. You don't make them.
I don't make them.
So, I mean, golden nugget for this one?
Golden nugget for this one is, I'm gonna go with what I said about the dialogue between like the millennial and the boomer Gen X type boss guy. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was like a nice commentary that I did not expect to come out of a kids movie. Yeah, I mean, overall it was cute, and also obviously also Tim's relationship with his daughter. I think that was really like genuine and really well written.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think for me it's Tim and his relationship with Tabitha. It's really cute. You know, he's so unbelievably proud of her, and he's just
Yeah.
like he's so genuinely shocked when she says that, you know, she's worried he won't be proud of her, when he is just like
Oh my
constantly
God,
constantly
nonstop
proud
proud
of
of her.
her.
That's so
It's so
nice.
beautiful. It was so beautiful. Yeah, that was lovely. Also, just sorry, last point on this one. Second Chekhov's gun that I didn't see coming was the candy volcano that saved the day.
Yeah, wasn't ready for that.
No, no, not at all. I think this one is really good at burying the Chekhov's
You look
appliances.
at so there are a couple good writers in that writer's room. We see you.
Yeah, we see you. We recognize.
Hmm.
And so I'm assuming because you wouldn't watch the first one, you're definitely not going to watch the second
No,
one.
no, these movies are one and done for me. I'm glad I saw them, but
Right.
it's I don't know, it's just not the kind of thing I seek out.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, for me, I think, you know, kids, from my experience with like friends' kids, I know they watch the same shit over and over again. So I think when you choose a kids movie that you're going to show your children, like you got to be prepared for that.
Mm,
And to be honest with you, I would rather do the Boss Baby duo and the series, rather than sort of like say Lego movie 1 and 2 just constantly on repeat, or like
uh-huh.
even, you know,
Yeah.
Frozen 1 or 2 constantly on repeat. At least with this you've got some varying content. So I would say I would watch this again, and I'd be very happy to show my children this.
Okay, good note. Good shout.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Simone, for indulging me on the Boss Baby double feature.
You're so very welcome. I enjoyed that actually.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to sort of, you know, set this as a KPI. We've achieved that KPI,
Mm.
and you know, our bonuses are secured for the year.
And now we can look forward to just wrapping up Q4 really well.
It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. Christmas party.
Already.
Is your office having a Christmas party?
So in the interest of being like COVID safe, we're sort of staying in our little teams and doing like smaller Christmas parties like in our teams, rather than doing like one
Nice.
big super spreader event, even though most of us are vaccinated. So yeah, I'm doing like a small Christmas thing. I also decided I'm going to make Christmas cookie boxes for all of my colleagues, which I'm very excited to do. Well, just obviously the people on my team, like the company's too big. I'm not,
Yeah.
not going to make that many
You're not
cookies.
insane.
No.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. I mean, would you like our company has just gone wild with their decision to with what they're going to do with the Christmas party. And I mean, if any of my colleagues listen to this, like, it is wild, and I'm not even going to apologize and like try and hide this.
What
We're
does
having
that
our
mean?
Christmas party in February.
Why?
Because it's slightly COVID safer, I guess.
Okay,
Like,
sure,
I think
sure,
we want to see
sure.
what's gonna happen over December, because I can imagine like cases are probably gonna rise, even though like most people are vaccinated. Like, so I guess what they're trying to think of is maybe sort of by February things will have
Okay.
calmed down. But Christmas in February, y'all.
It's nice. It's the
that's what
coldest
my
month of
company's
the
doing.
year. You need a little bit of festivity.
There you go. I really hope so. Yeah. So that's what my company's doing.
Nice.
So then, talking of Christmas cheer, what is your gratitude?
My gratitude for this week. I'm gonna say I'm just very happy that I'm in a place where I can start new hobbies now.
Oh,
like I have the
yeah.
disposable income for hobbies, which is
Oh, that's
pleasant.
so good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I took a pole dancing class yesterday because, like I told you, I am the whitest, most millennial woman that you know. Nothing quite screams quarter life crisis like taking pole dancing classes, but I'm just excited to have something to like work towards and try to get better at, and maybe just be like slightly more comfortable in my own body.
Oh, that'll be good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's all a journey, and you got to do what
Exactly.
you got to do to make yourself more comfortable. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm
Good
keen
on
to
you for
see
like
how it
pushing the
plays out.
boundaries.
Thanks.
Yeah. Good.
What about you?
Good. I am super jazzed and super grateful for my air fryer this week. I bought it as like, when I moved out, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get like nice appliances that I can just carry with me. And honestly, that air fryer is bomb.
I've heard people are like in love with their air fryers.
I mean, it's you know, talking about white people things, like, it is the whitest of white
That's
as
true.
well. But honestly, like I made fries in it the other day and it was just so perfect. Like they were like nice and crunchy and crisp on the outside, but nice and soft on the inside. And you know what? No oil. It was perfect.
I've heard that. Well, they're also amazing for roasting chickpeas.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't tried that yet. I'm gonna give that a go. That's a good shout.
Nice crispy, crunchy chickpeas. The best, delicious high
snack.
fiber snack.
Best snack. You put me onto that years ago and it has saved my life so many so many times.
Try it, guys.
Yeah. So if you've got an air fryer out there, just, you know, hit me up with your recipes. I would very much appreciate it. So Simone, what are we going to do next week?
Oh, that's a great question. Actually, I hadn't thought that far.
You got nothing?
I got nothing.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we can do. Should we just do Dune? No, it's all right. It's all right.
I think Dune did a little too well.
I was thinking also like the old Dune. Maybe that probably did too well as well.
Okay. When's this episode gonna come out? So this will come out.
This will come out on the 9th.
Oh God. Okay, so we're like
we're far away.
We're far away from the end of the month. Because I thought maybe we could do like the November roundup, but that's
oh right, yeah.
We're quite
We've got
far
like
out.
We got 2 weeks for that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Huh. Maybe is it time for a rom-com?
Yeah, we haven't done a rom-com in a while.
Yeah. Build up to Christmas. Okay, I've got Rotten Tomatoes, the worst rom-coms of all time. We'll decide. Sorry, my internet's being slow. Okay. Oh no. For fuck's sakes.
Okay, done that one.
I mean, I don't want to do stuff that like nobody's heard of, you know? Oh,
Yeah.
got you. Okay, here's some. There's My Boss's Daughter.
Ooh, that's a great one.
And this is a nice theme. First Daughter.
First Daughter, that's great. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember that one. That's Katie Holmes.
Yeah.
Fuck, that movie is terrible. Excellent. Okay. Fantastic. All right, I'll lead you in on that.
Awesome.
Okay. So Simone, what do we feel like doing next week?
Okay, so this is a very specific theme, but bear with me. We're gonna do rom-coms that are daughter themed, kind of.
I like it. I like it. Yeah.
So we are gonna do My Boss's Daughter.
Excellent.
Which has Tara Reid in it, so you know it's gonna be
Oh
good.
yeah.
And
that multi-acclaimed winning Oscar-winning actress.
The star of Sharknado, famously.
Yes.
And First Daughter with Katie Holmes.
Oh, excellent. We haven't done a Katie Holmes in so long.
I
it's
love
gonna be
her.
so good to see her again. She's
Good for
great.
her. I always just wish
Can't
her
go
the
wrong with
best,
her.
you know?
Absolutely. Especially after dating Tom Cruise.
Oh, God.
Yeah, she deserves nothing but
Girl,
happiness.
wishing
really.
her
and Nicole
nothing but
Kidman.
light and love. I always think like her and Nicole Kidman maybe like occasionally talk and they're like, we've dodged a bullet, huh?
Just like once a month or so, just being like, whew, can you imagine?
Just breathing huge sighs of relief together.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is gonna be fun. A rom-com daughter theme. That's exciting. Yeah,
you know, we have to, God knows, we keep looking for themes.
We do love a theme, don't we? We should be invited to go and produce Survivor because we would come up with some themes. Apparently, I was listening to a podcast the other day and like the hosts really love Survivor. And they were saying that at one season, it was divided by race, which just seems like a really terrible idea. Like Jeff Probst just fucked up hard.
Who greenlit that?
That is a terrible decision. And that wasn't even like Trump era.
Reality TV exists on its own plane, you know? Like it's just divorced from the rest of us, ironically.
I mean, yeah, whoever came up with reality TV, good lord. Like, a special place deserved in hell for you because of the implications that it's wrought.
Let's not.
Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate you. We appreciate everything that you've done and all the support that you give us. We really, really love you so very much. And yeah, please do tell us what you've been watching, what you would like to see coming up to the end of the year. You know, Christmas is coming up, so let's talk some of your favorite bad Christmas movies. We love Christmas movies, especially the worse the better. So please do tell us. Oh yeah. And where can they tell us these things?
They can talk to us on Facebook or Instagram at Fresh Tomatoes Podcast, on Twitter at Fresh Tomatoes MP. They can email us at freshtomatoespodcast@gmail.com.
There you have it. And as we say at the end of every episode, we love you and there's nothing you can do about it.
We love you and there's nothing you can do about it. Goodbye.
Goodbye.